Salon, whose parents were killed during the Holocaust. They were Jewish, and he became one of the best poets of the 20th century. This piece is called Tribal. Night unpacks its small infinities in my backyard. To find Antares, I close my eyes and summon a collective sigh. Somewhere, the blueprint of a terrible piece of machinery is in effect. The cats are gathering among the jasmine and thistle blooms. We shuffle the fire of our 9 lives, drink its black milk and purr. Solidarity exists. Becoming Icarus. Before his praise of horizons exacted its fiery price, the tincture of his eyes knew to change with the seasons. A verdant claim to know all things by their scent and the tokens of a new geography. On mornings dew offered its own coronation, he was heir to the secret life of hawks. Everywhere a yawed trajectory would carry him through the pleated partings of blue sky and buttery clouds. He spoke with the carnal tongue of angels, every breath an exultation promising deliverance. Strangers bestowed on him their different kindnesses and gems quarried from their native lands. Fathers be damned for their wise soundings. The sun alone would know his scorched adoration, flight the only law among the star casualties. Water music. And so the rain becomes this refrain for voices now silent that goes, shh. The heuristics of weather loom green's vertical acres, a mind's wildering enterprises how water high-fives other water in its descent and improvises a few ocean. How a drab chorus of scrub jays finds and hones the hidden diatonic from twigs, bottle caps, and the larval scraps. The sight of robins spearing wormholes reminds me how local an occurrence terror can be. Sometimes it's hard to live and not feel besieged by breath, by the air we inhabit into blood. This place we've learned to call home, where a timeless rain is falling. Litany. The discarded a form of accretion, hollow echoes a fullness in me. The temporal is now's defenestration into the elements of song. You gaze into the abyss and windows stare back with the promise of crows. Dance is the way limbs worship inspired synapses. Sky and overpass to our collective heaving. The days clopped away with the confused cavalcade. Power lines hum with meretricious intent. To reach nirvana, torture yourself in a busy intersection. Everywhere the sidewalk cracks are turning green. This one's called My New Faith. What can the annular rings of trees presage of the sky? The distant churn of ocean of the mind's restless iterations. Fog of the secret lives my cat has known in neighboring dominions. The wind's circular refrain of tomorrow's devotions and their sacred leavings. The molting of feathers of my adaptability to ash in the coming apocalypse. This day of forever, which doesn't exist but the blazing horizon way out there on the waves, insists must be so. Nowhere is also a place. I start this with a quote from Mandelbrot, the mathematician who discovered fractals. Very often, when I listen to the list of my previous jobs, I wonder if I exist. A murmur of clouds and I'm all wind, newly crowned king of scatter in the yard lying 3 clicks south of the housekeeper's lawn, which is plush green as his wallet and immaculately tended, though he's odious as a PB and onion sandwich. A sprinter at dawn will be a marathon runner by dusk is the kind of prophecy we can count on. A trace of civet reminds me of an intangible wound. The girl in glasses and heliotrope-colored undies who belt out French pop songs in the kitchen. There it is, another fib masking in the form of hope. Because nowhere is also a place and zero is the numerical equivalent of now, some days my driveway looks like it's waiting for the space shuttle to land. Where we are, a theoretical topology of touch. In physics, a particle has been known to tunnel through mountains. It can be argued that sleep is a form of deep-sea divination where the brain glows like coral, breathing a pleasant arrangement where anemones are blowing in tomorrow's radiant breeze. Gravity is us. Another version of the involuted bliss of seashells, this flowering toward a concealed center that would break if held, heraldic diamond hewn by the spectral dawn, rain cooing through the leaves, a promise of once again falling into our hours. The lives we keep telling in the hope doors, windows will open into the wilderness behind each cloud sign. This is the wisdom of trains, mechanical beasts made to chase landscapes that go and go and go, because immortal, shadows cast no echo in this praise of distance. A city burning in the midnight dunes, constellations of ash spiraling in the moonless yonder. New ways of seeing to justify so much broken beauty, unchained splendor. The universe's unspoken request that, for all its black holes and nihilistic tendencies, we stay. Blue and green. We are heirs to the season's lost vernacular. Grass signs its neon forgeries behind glass walls incubating spring. Shadows are salamandered in the sun. Blooms like petaled comets soaring down. The inevitability of weather is wearing a suit of rain among foxgloves on a day of sun. This is my bond with the sky. As the fabled night arrives with its blinking star vacancies in the murky heavens, that for every breath I take, the moon may be there to stave off entropy's ferocious design of chiggers, cancer, and mad cow disease, and stretch out the innings of another summer. The horizon little more than a pulsed radiance of hills in the rearview mirror tucked miles away into this place where time hides from us all. Last wish and testament. There's this blueprint of a life I keep to myself, folded neatly like a letter I will never send, a shiv tucked close to the heart, a passport stamped by clouds and sanctified by sky, the absence I carry and will one day walk into, a blueprint for the sake there are blueprints, rhizomes, galaxies, and breathing. This undeclared wish that the life I've lived without one has been somewhat kind and mostly beyond reproach. My hope in case of rain to find your day of sun, once dared to plant a garden in our long dry bed of silence and ignite into blossom. Thank you.